Ever feel like you're just drowning in to-dos?
Oh, tell me about it.
Deadlines, 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 and
yeah.
that whole work-life balance thing
Right.
feels about as real as, like, I don't know,
Yeah.
a unicorn.
Totally.
But hold on, what if I told you it doesn't have to be this way?
Okay.
We did a deep dive into Balance Work and Life Easy, actually.
I love that book.
Really gets you thinking. It's got a really optimistic take on this whole work-life balance thing.
It does, yeah. What I thought was really interesting was
Yeah.
it goes beyond just managing your time, right?
Right.
It's about your energy, your mindset. Like, those are the real game changers.
Absolutely, and it all starts with boundaries.
Yes.
The book uses this great metaphor.
Yeah.
It's like building a fence around your personal life
Right.
to keep all those work intrusions out.
Yeah. Yeah. It's such a good visual.
Like, nope, you can't cross this line.
Exactly. Exactly.
But why are boundaries so important for actually achieving that balance? You know, the one we're all kind of searching for.
Well, I mean, think about what happens if you don't have those boundaries.
Right.
Work just kind of bleeds into everything, right?
Yeah.
Every part of your life. And that leads to burnout, resentment, like it's not good.
Not a recipe for success.
And it ends up impacting not just, your well-being outside of work, but your work performance too.
Interesting.
Remember that example from the book?
Yeah.
About setting like really specific work hours?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And it's almost like this agreement you make with yourself.
Totally.
Super important.
Yeah, it's like you're drawing this line in the sand.
Right.
Work stays over here, life stays over there.
Exactly. Exactly.
And actually, speaking of work, the book talks about this whole idea of prioritizing like a pro,
Okay, yeah.
using the 80-20 rule. Have you heard of that?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But figuring out like what is my top 20%
Right.
in all this chaos,
It's tough.
it can feel impossible.
It's so overwhelming.
Do you have any tips for actually doing that? Like putting that into practice?
I think the biggest thing is being intentional.
Okay.
Really strategic and deliberate about it. Like the book was saying, start your day, maybe with a list.
Okay.
Figure out those tasks.
Yeah.
The ones that really match up with your goals, right? You know that saying, eat the frog.
Oh, 100%.
Tackle the hardest thing first.
Yeah.
When you have the most energy.
I'm all about eating the frog first thing.
Yeah.
Get it out of the way.
Totally.
Sets your whole day up for success.
Exactly. And that's actually where time blocking comes in.
Okay.
Another good point from the book. Have you heard of that?
I have.
Yeah, it's basically just,
Yeah.
planning out your time. You're giving blocks of time to certain tasks. Almost like a puzzle, fitting it all in.
So it's not just about like cramming more into your day.
No, yeah.
It's about being mindful of how you actually use your time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Working smarter, not harder. You're designing your day in a way that you're going to get the most out of it,
Yes. Having a schedule that works with you,
Yes,
not against you.
totally.
And speaking of working smarter, the book also talked about using technology for time management.
Yeah, definitely. Think about like automation tools, scheduling apps, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
Anything that kind of take those little things off your plate.
Okay, automation tools. I'm feeling calmer already,
Right.
Just thinking about like handing off my to-do list
The robots.
to a robot, to a nice, efficient app.
Exactly.
But before we get ahead of ourselves,
Yeah.
the book makes this point about mindfulness,
Oh, yeah.
which I thought was really interesting.
Right.
It's not just about,
Yeah.
lighting incense and chanting.
Right.
It's about practical things you can do
Yeah.
to manage your stress, improve focus.
Totally.
How does that fit into all of this?
Well, it seems kind of counterintuitive at first.
Right, because it seems like one more thing.
One more thing on the list, right?
Exactly.
But when we're going and going and going,
Yeah.
juggling all the things,
Yeah.
work, family, all of it,
Yeah.
our nervous system is like basically stuck on this
Yeah.
fight or flight mode,
Oh, I feel that.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And your brain's releasing cortisol, the stress hormone,
Okay.
which,
I have heard of that.
it's not all bad,
Yeah.
short bursts.
Right.
It can be helpful,
Yeah.
but long term, not so much.
Right. So it's like having that freak out button.
Yes.
Just like always on.
Exactly. Exactly.
I
And
love
so
that.
mindfulness, it's like this reset button for your nervous system.
Okay.
It's like, okay, calm down.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. It lowers your cortisol. It quiets all that mental chatter. And it helps you, when these challenges come up,
Yeah.
you can actually respond
Yeah.
instead of just reacting.
That's huge.
Right.
Yeah.
And what I thought was really interesting about the book
Yeah.
was how they were saying, you don't need to spend hours meditating every day.
Yes. Thank you.
Like little things throughout the day make a huge difference.
I know. That's what always trips me up. It's like, oh, mindfulness. Okay, got to block out an hour. Got to get the candles going.
Right, exactly.
For your nudge.
No, just little things. Like, what were some of their examples?
Well, yeah, give us some examples.
Like just taking a few deep breaths before you check your email,
Okay.
or, going for a quick walk at lunch,
Yeah.
or even just like when you're having your coffee in the morning,
Yeah.
actually tasting it
That present.
instead of just like on autopilot.
Mindful coffee. Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's just bringing awareness to whatever you're doing,
Right.
even if it's just for a few seconds.
Okay, so we've got boundaries, prioritizing, time management,
Yeah,
mindfulness. It's all coming together. Like we're building this toolkit, right?
we are.
For a more balanced life, it's great.
Totally.
But let's be real.
Okay.
Sometimes, even with the best tools,
Yeah.
you just need an extra pair of hands.
Oh, 100%.
And that's where this whole idea of automation and delegation comes in.
Yes. Yes.
My favorite.
It's a game changer, but it can be controversial.
Right. Because some people, they feel like they have to do it all themselves.
Yes. I am so guilty of that.
Right. Like it's a weakness to ask for help.
The I can do it all trap.
The worst.
I fall into it all the time.
But what the book said, and I thought this was so smart, is that it's actually like the opposite. It's not a weakness, it's a strategy.
Working smarter?
Yes.
Yes.
Not harder.
Not harder. So when you automate those little things,
Yeah.
like bill pay,
Oh my gosh.
scheduling,
Worst.
all that stuff, or you delegate tasks to people who are maybe better suited for them or who would actually enjoy them.
Yeah, or you're paying to do them.
Right, exactly. You get that time and energy back for the stuff that matters.
Yes, for the good stuff.
Exactly, for the stuff that lights you up.
Okay, so think about your workday.
Okay.
What are those things that you're just like dreading?
Yes.
They suck up all your time.
Yeah.
But they don't actually need your unique skills.
Exactly. Prime candidates for automation or delegation right there.
Ooh, okay. So I'm already thinking
Yeah.
social media scheduling tools.
Yes.
For sure.
What else?
Maybe one of those AI writing things
Oh, interesting.
to help me with like my routine emails.
Oh, that's smart.
I know. It's like having a personal assistant
Right.
without having to make small talk with them.
The best kind of assistant.
Exactly. And this applies to our personal lives too, right?
Totally.
It's not just a work thing.
Think about, household chores, errands.
Oh, yeah.
Could you get your partner to do some of those? Your kids, if they're old enough.
Yeah.
It really does take the pressure off.
It's about sharing the load,
Yes.
which honestly, just thinking about that
Yeah.
feels so much better.
Yeah.
It really does. It's amazing how much lighter it feels.
I know, right?
Just thinking about sharing those things.
Totally.
But I think the biggest aha moment for me
Okay.
from this whole book was this idea that, balance isn't about
Right.
being perfect.
Right.
It's not about this like Instagram perfect life where
It's
everything's,
not a perfectly split pie chart.
yes,
50-50, work and life.
it's not going to happen.
Never going to happen.
The book really challenged that whole idea,
It does. It's so refreshing.
Yeah, it's about finding a rhythm.
Right. Exactly. A rhythm, not a race.
There it is.
That's what they say.
Okay, but it goes beyond that, right? It's not just about
Yeah.
accepting the chaos. It's also about your mindset.
Oh, 100%. Mindset is everything.
So how do we actually start to
Yeah.
rewire our brains,
Right.
to be more balanced, more compassionate?
Well, one of the biggest things for me, and they talk about this in the book,
Yeah.
is self-compassion.
Okay.
It's so easy to beat yourself up.
Oh, I'm the queen of that.
Right. When we feel like we're failing, we're not doing enough. But what if we talk to ourselves the way we talk to our friends?
Ooh, that's good.
Right. Like you'd never say to your best friend.
Right, when they're struggling.
Right. You're a mess. What's wrong with you?
Exactly. That's so true.
So why are we so mean to ourselves?
Okay, so it's about giving ourselves permission, I guess.
Yes. Permission to be human.
To not be perfect.
You don't have to have it all figured out.
Which is so freeing when you actually
Right.
let yourself off the hook.
It's huge.
It's you. So we're focusing on progress then.
Yes. Progress over perfection. Always.
Celebrating those little wins along the way.
Exactly. Those little wins add up.
They really do. So it really is about the journey, isn't it?
It is. It's about the journey, not the destination.
Okay, so as we wrap up this deep dive
Yeah.
into balance work and life easy, actually.
Such a good book.
It's such a good book. I feel like we've learned a lot.
A lot of good stuff.
Really practical stuff.
Practical tips.
Yeah, we talked about boundaries.
Yes.
Prioritize.
Time management.
Mindfulness.
Oh, don't forget automation and delegation.
Yes. All those things. But even more importantly than all of that, I think,
Okay.
is this idea of shifting your mindset.
Yes.
Right. From feeling overwhelmed to feeling more balanced, more fulfilled.
Mindset is everything.
It really is. It's a journey, not a destination, right?
100%. It's an adventure.
And we're going to mess up along the way.
Oh, yeah. You're going to fall down.
But that's part of it.
That's the best part.
Exactly.
You get back up, you learn something, you keep going.
I love that visual, like falling down on this journey,
Yeah.
but getting back up.
It's not a straight line.
It's not a straight line to balance.
It's so squiggly.
So squeaking.
The best kind of journey.
But it's our journey, right?
Exactly. And you get to decide what that looks like for you.
Now, one final thought before we go.
Okay, shoot.
The book focused on all these really practical tips, which are great. But what if the real key here to achieving that harmony is actually looking at our beliefs?
Ooh, interesting.
About success, about productivity.
I like that.
What does it actually mean to have it all?
Deep.
It is kind of deep.
I'm going to be thinking about that all day.
Me too.
Thanks for bringing that up.
Thanks for chatting with me today.
This was fun. Let's do it again soon.
Until next time.